experience on this stage. Equally, France have on the bench Marjorie Maillan, Christelle Leduff, two really critical players for them. So it's about these occasions of giving your players experience.
And you just wonder how much the last match took it out of Leduff, one of the more senior players in the France squad. In fact, the oldest at 33 years in age. Grassino gets us underway, and Rachel Burford, the first take for England. Scart, Watmore switching back inside. Lovely little offload as well to the onrushing Fran Matthews. Whistle goes. First penalty is against England, though, not releasing on the ground. And France so good on the deck at getting their body position over the ball and forcing the turnover. And a little step on the outside, just kept alive by Chloe Pell. Good hands to pick it up off the deck, and it's there again for Gustier to try and spin this one wide. The pass not particularly good, though. England up in a wall of white jerseys and trying to get their hands on it. Again, they got to move off quicker than that, and a penalty advantage against Vicky Fleetwood. Body position all wrong there, and France get a go again. Orta, little show and go from Orta. Needs a switch here, or does she? No, she's still going. Scarrett eventually gets hands on her inside the 22. Lovely break, blindside go for France. Pick and go. Lisa tries to present the ball back. England get the penalty, again not releasing, and it's mile-a-minute stuff in the third, fourth place playoff. Richardson brings play to the 22. Options really all on the right hand side for England, but they go blind, and that could be where the space is, because France weren't expecting it, and referee says it went backwards, so play on. If that had gone to hand, England were away, but they still have possession. And France, their discipline a little bit suspect over the course of the last 2 days, has let them down at times. But they have possession here. England desperately trying to hang on. Dangerous position for the French. Guerrier back inside. Orta. Fanny Orta drifting across again. England's defence holding solid. Matthews with the tackle on that occasion. Slow ball coming back for France. Little show, and the pass, well, you can see that Chloe Pell tried to hang on to that one. Advantage to be played to England, and advantage is now over, and the sprint over the halfway line. Look at that, France desperate defending. It's a foot race, and Staniford looks like she's going to win it into the 22, and out of nothing England strike for the first try.
Brilliant from Michaela Staniford. She hasn't played as much in this tournament as you'd always usually expect. 18th throw in her career, so she has experience, but the ball comes loose. Staniford looks up, sees the French defence isn't organised. Of course it isn't, because the ball's just been turned over. Grassino, who has played a lot of rugby in this tournament, desperately trying to chase her down, can't get there. Brilliant finish from Michaela Staniford.
She did pick up a hand injury in the first game, and we haven't really seen her since then. That's why she might have the fresh legs, and that's why she wasn't afraid to run the length of the pitch. The conversion attempt off the post rattles them as well. So 5 points for England, and France, after all the attack in the first few minutes, they leave with nothing, and in fact they're 5 down now.
England soaked up a lot of pressure, and that will have taken quite a bit out of their legs, but you can see Simon Middleton's planning, putting fresh legs on, worked out on that occasion. Alice Richardson won't be happy, however, to have not got the extra 2.
And that was a bruiser against Russia as well. You just don't know how much it took out of the England bodies, the players that started that game in the semi-final. France now having to regroup and try and get something going. The pass from Lissard doesn't go to hand, and England will get the scrum.
Pretty breathless.
Yeah, let's just take a pause, shall we?
Maybe a little bit harder for them out on the pitch as England regrouped. Joanne Motwell, we can see running out to the wing. Hasn't had much possession in space really this tournament.
Ball fires out from the back. Matthews does well to get it away. Scarrett looks for Watmore on the wing. It's a one-on-one. Watmore might fancy her chance here to cut back inside and gets the pass to Scarrett, but the gadget arms let her down on that occasion. Sue couldn't hang on.
Very rare to see Emily Scarrett not take hold of the ball. Jo Watmore just manages to prise her arms loose enough to get this offload, having pulled both defenders in, but Emily Scarrett, a rare rare handling error from her. Wasn't quite expecting it.
2 minutes to play. France with the scrum, and well, Gussier just buying herself a few inches there. Tidy scrum. Orta. Let's play towards the 22. Gussier once more. Little grubber kick through. Well, nobody was on her wavelength, and she's just kicked possession away. And Watmore first there for England. Joanne Watmore trying to go on the outside. Good tackle. Goes in from Grassino. And England concede the penalty, so maybe the kick wasn't such a bad idea after all.
England, the breakdown is what's really letting England down. What they haven't managed to do so well is when they get caught on their own, let go of possession, get up, pick the ball up the go, which we see a lot of the other teams do. And when they're not doing well is getting support to the breakdown. So you're right, in the end it looked like a poor kick from France, but it's worked out very well.
France trying to find a gap in the English line. You won't find it by drifting across the pitch though, and Fourcade put on her back, still with possession. Orta, Fanny Orta gives the pass away. Chloe Pell, long looping ball to the outside, makes the wraparound run, doesn't get the return though, and France still have it. This is dangerous for England. Still they keep it alive. Orta, Fanny Orta, the pass goes to hand. Chance here, surely Fourcade, just short. Wow, England get the penalty and they waste no time. Look at this, counter-attack, the name of the game for Simon Middleton's side. That's how they got their last try, and away they come through Vicky Fleetwood. Matthews again to keep it alive. England happy to just see where the gaps are. Scarrett with a bit of control from the feet, tries to break the line. Needs a support runner now though. Watmore's first there. Staniford takes one out. Fleetwood. Scarrett again. England have massive numbers left here. If they just look up and spread this one, Staniford maybe sees that. Now they come. One last attack before the end of the first half. And we're England to get a try. The pass is awful. There is the half-time whistle. So France with 90% of the territory, most of the attacking, but England have the only thing that counts, and that's 5 points on the scoreboard. Half-time, England 5, France 0.
Bon, juste fermer les intérieurs en défense, d'accord, et sachez lâcher les rucks. Quand elles prennent le milieu terrain, très vite, il faut que les bouts de ligne rappellent et qu'on rééquilibre, d'accord, juste ça en défense, et fermer les intérieurs, bien se parler, fermer.
Keep pushing forward, right? We're doing good because we're avoiding a lot of the contact area, right? So keep pulling out the contact, play away, offloads, keep tucking it behind to get up and keep the momentum in the game, all right? If you get anything on the floor, they're going to be attacking. In D, push up on the edges, the labour with the passing, back yourself and you'll get some deep ball, yeah? So, attack, shift it away from the contact, quickly into space, defence, keep pushing up on the edges.
So second half almost underway, just waiting for one of the players to be helped off with an injury just at the end of that first half. Didn't see exactly what happened, but let's have a look at the points on offer. Third place, and the winner of this match will get 16. Fourth will have to settle for 14. In terms of England, Sue, and you know, you'd be better placed to judge than most, would Simon Middleton have been expecting a third place finish? Is that maybe exceeding expectations?
Well, it certainly matches anything that they managed last season, so whilst you're always aiming to win the tournament, I think he'll be pretty happy with that, yes.
Well, it's been a gruelling campaign for both teams. I mean, France, just the nature of how they play, so reliant on their physicality. Their defence, as we saw against Fiji, like a watertight wall of blue. Every time Fiji tried to use that magic and flair that had served them so well on day one, they just ran into the French tackles time after time, and I wonder, did that sap the energy? They do have substitutions with plenty of ability on the bench, though.
It's a really good point. Defence is such an important part of the games of both these teams. Discipline, defence, keeping the patterns, sucking the life out of the team you're playing against. What that does, though, is suck the life out of you a little bit as a team. It's hard work.
Let's go down to the sideline, and Rupert's there.
Thanks, guys. I've got Carl Tanana down here. Carl, 5-0 to England here. Another tight one on the women's draw.
Yeah, well, I've been really impressed with this French team. I mean, defensively, they've been strong all day long, all tournament long. But this English side, I think, just the power that they have, I mean, they really are setting apart this third and fourth playoff.
You're really seeing the physical toll on these players, aren't you? The sixth game they played in 2 days in these very hot conditions, and it's really taking the toll on their players.
Yeah, and I think the skill level has gone up, so they play a very wide game now, the girls. You know, it's not so much the short channels anymore. So it is a lot of running, there's a lot of ground covered, you know, and as you'd expect, the levels with those skills, the fitness levels have to be there as well, regardless of those changes with the interchange.
Spoke to Sarah Goss earlier about after their plate final win, the New Zealand women. She said the problems they've had this weekend they can fix before Sao Paulo. Would you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely, you know, and I think the Aussies, if they haven't go past us, setting the benchmark, and I just think with New Zealand girls, they're not together like some of these other squads at the moment, so they really need to get together and fix those things, but anything's fixable, you know. They'll be disappointed winning the plate for sure.
But we've seen a real improvement, haven't we, across all the teams, so-called second teams in this women's draw. What Fiji did yesterday, going for unbeaten, Russia beating New Zealand 33-7. What is the reason for that, do you think, Carl?
Well, I just think now these programs are all starting to realise that the Rio Olympics are the real deal, you know, and as you'd expect, with places like Russia, they've got the resources to be able to back their teams. You know, they've got the financial backing, so it's no coincidence that they're doing good now on the world stage. And Russia showed signs on last season's series that they're there or thereabouts, and now if they get their consistency, they're the real deal.
Just quickly, Russia against Aussies in the final. Who do you pick in the women?
I'd love, my heart says Russia, but I think my head has got to go with the Aussies.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, Rupert. Thanks, KT. Beautiful night, and we are almost set to get underway. Thankfully, injury looks like it's been taken care of. So, England 5 points to the good, thanks to the try in the first half from Michaela Staniford. Breakaway try against the run of play, and France, for all their huffing and puffing, have not managed to bash down the England wall of defence.
They have not, and of course England threw away a really good chance at the end of that half. Will that prove significant?
Well, it looked like a touch came off one of the French players there, so it's going to be a line out. Did it go forward? But they should have the option of the scrum. I think they will. And it's going to be Fran Matthews to feed Stanford in there. Natural brought for the hooker.
The size differential in the back lines, you can't see it on your screen, but Horter and Gracineau versus Scarrett and Watmore, each about a foot taller.
Let's see, can they make that count? Scarrett, crossfield run, has Watmore outside her. She's going to go it alone. Little switch back inside to Watmore. Surrounded by blue jerseys, though, as soon as she got that ball. Taken by Richardson and kicked through by France. Troncy trying to get a second touch on it. And Matthews dives on it. Back for Watmore. Now England. Can they spread this ball wide? Staniford just delayed the pass slightly. Tackles have to be made. Wilson Hardy on the pitch in the second half, and no surprise to see her, Sue. Try machine over the last 2 days.
She is, but once again England losing it at the breakdown. How many times have we said that today? They have to put that right, England.
Is it the body position? Are they too high going into contact, do you think?
Too high and too late. They're just not reacting quick enough, because Simon Middleton's asking them to play an offloading game. They're expecting the offload. By the time they realise it's not coming, they're not adjusting quickly enough. They have to work that out. They're not used to playing the offloading game, so they're not used to adjusting to it.
Christelle Leduff, second half substitution for France. She has been their go-to player in this tournament at 33 years of age. I mean, people had been writing her off beforehand, saying, you know, she's just too old now to make a serious impression in this tournament. They were absolutely wrong in that, and here she is with a pass to try and set the backs going. Orta into the middle, taken off this time by Lissard. France keeping it alive. England trying to make those tackles. Troncy hits the ground, scrap for the ball there, and again England in over the top of it. Good strength, you can see, by Richardson to hang on, but Leduff using her experience to get the ball to the back. Three of them out wide. Again juggling with that ball. Did it go forward there? Like it did off Chloe Pell. Good spot for the referee, and we've got 4.5 minutes to play.
I think it went backwards, and the second time it went forward. I think Christelle Leduff would tell you, if you're good enough, you're always young enough. She's proved that this tournament, really been pivotal for France, so no surprise they've brought her on in this game.
Ball off the English scrum. Scarrett opts to just pop it up towards Richardson, who decides no, enough is enough. Chases on for it. Watmore's after it. France are going to be careful here. Watmore maybe overcommitted herself. What a top tackle. Out of the Peter Stringer playbook, that one, I tell you. It was the only way he could bring down guys twice his height, including the late great John Olomu. They will forget that one. France have possession. Little switch to keep it alive towards the halfway line. England better roll away and leave it at them. Chloe Pell acting as scrum half. Leduff with a little dummy, a second one, and not a third, because she was heading for that touchline. Watmore can't steal it. France still have it, and Christelle Leduff to feed the backs again. England defence holding tight. 3.5 minutes for France to get an equaliser. Looking for the inside ball, and Fourcade. Across comes Chloe Pell. England get the penalty. France going off their feet.
Yeah, this time it's France at the breakdown, sealing the ball off, not giving England a chance to compete for it. 3 minutes left. Attritional battle between these two Northern Hemisphere teams. Who's got something left in the tank?
This is where the lactic acid starts to sting in the back of the legs, and all that effort over the last 2 days. Who wants this one more? It's third place, you might say. Big deal, but I tell you, try telling the players who are out on the pitch right now that this game doesn't matter. Christelle Leduff. There are just no holes in the England defence since the start of this game. Every tackle has to be made. Here is Fanny Orta trying to break through. The ball back inside. Is this it for France? So can they hang on? Yes, they can. Wow. No, it's gone forward. It's gone forward. Referee hands were out. The French thought they were in. Size of frustration on their part. Let's have a look again, Sue.
Yeah, touch and go, wasn't it? The tackle from Fran Matthews is a brilliant one, because it went forward, then bounced off the England player, then she regathered it. That's why it's a knock-on. Good call from the referee, but I think in tackling with her face there, Alice Richardson, she's hurt. She's had a brilliant tournament. Her cover tackling has been phenomenal.
On come the cavalry for both teams. Claire Allen, Katie McLean and Heather Fisher for England. You can see Amile Meillat also in, and Goulion. Coke in the eye, I think, for Fleetwood there, so that's the last action for her. And let's see what the fresh legs can do. England are going to have to put into the scrum, well inside their own 22, and 2.5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, will they put boot to ball here, England? I think I probably would. Tired legs out there. It's Alice Richardson that came off, by the way, with the poke in the eye. Katie McLean's come on for her.
Here is McLean. Watmore took her back inside. They didn't take the advice to, and almost made the pay for it there. They have been made because they've given away the penalty. Well, you wonder about that decision. So many wise heads there. Scarrett surely needed to dictate, but France have another chance. Mayenne is only just on the pitch. The sweeping pass on the outside, shipped on. Oh, is that forward? Referee says yes. What an opportunity for the French. Criminal mistake there, Sue.
It's because she was trying to make the pass as quickly as possible, wasn't it? Claire Allen bearing down on her, much like the Rachel Burford effort for England in the first half, when it looked like all that had to happen was a good pass to go to hand. But the chance has gone begging. Is that going to be what saves England? And are they going to kick it this time? That's my question to you, Hugh.
Well, you'd have to say that would be the right thing to do. Just get territory, relieve a bit of pressure from yourself, come up in the wall.
And especially when England's breakdown work has been so average.
They're running it though. Maybe that's why we're not. Well, you were. Ball there for England. France trying to do their best to steal it. Look at that. Brilliant strength. They've turned it over. Mayenne. Is this the last chance for the French? Inside the final minutes. Going for the corner. Where's the switch? There it is. The chance to level it up. Grassino! France have scored. Conversion to come. And we are all square.
You had to kick it then. England have been losing ball after ball after ball at the breakdown. 5 metres from their try line. Brilliant work from France at the breakdown. Brilliant work from Horta and Grassino. Such a good combination. Grassino, we're talking about fresh legs. She has been on the pitch for pretty much every single minute of France's tournament.
Here's the kick to win it. Christelle Leduff. I tell you what, on the basis of her last 2 days, she deserves to get this kick. She's been brilliant for France. A clean strike needed here to win it. No way. Not a chance. Never caught it cleanly. There's the hooter. Do we have time for one last play? We do. France have to regroup. They say you're most vulnerable just after you score. We've seen it time and time again.
I think you're most vulnerable when your lungs are bursting at the end of a sevens game. It's just whoever can keep their heads here.
The Duff flirts with the touchline. It's gone over. They're going back to the middle for a scrum.
Tap and give
or
it
tap
to
and
Amy
go, I should say.
Wilson-Hardy. That would be my advice here.
Last chance saloon.
And if you're England, don't create any breakdowns.
What have England got left? Fresh legs on. McLean is one of them. She's one of them. And trying to go on the outside. Needs help. Or does she? Eventually brought down. Leduff is in on top of it. Penalty conceded though by the French 33-year-old. And England wasting no time. Tap and go. A try would win it. Staniford back on the field. Watmore. Burford. A wall of blue in front of her. England need to keep this ball. What's the referee say? Play on. Watmore again. Chance for Wilson-Hardy. So many tries. There's the offload available. She could get the hands free, but no. Brilliant tackle. Choke tackle. It had to be. England still have it, but they're going backwards at a rate of knots now, and they look absolutely exhausted. They might have to flip a coin if they can't play extra time here. Both teams out on their feet. Here is Fisher. She should have full of energy. The pass on the outside. Wilson-Hardy. Any room to manoeuvre? Not a lot, but she stays in play. And Watmore to act as scrum half. Slow pass from her. McLean. Staniford. Again, France, all they can do is keep making those tackles. And now the penalty against England for not releasing. Drama at the end of this game. The end of a long tournament for both teams. Leduff, no room there. Back she comes and kicks it away. Is this going to go out? Awkward looking bounce. Well, there's the full-time whistle. Sue, what an effort from both teams.
You can see the energy. It's just so energy-sapping, these matches. Both teams now making slightly poor decisions, not making the decisions they would ordinarily make, and not having the gas in their legs to finish it off when there's a little bit of space.
So we go to a golden score and 5 minutes extra time in each half. Coin toss in the middle.
Me. On tape. On reçoit.
getting dark, Sue.
I don't think they're quite communicating with each other, referee and both players. Emily Scarrett's not understanding.
Oh, that's complicated.
The brain cells are not working quite as quickly at this point in a sevens tournament as they are at the start.
So, more extra time to decide this one. Third and fourth place is what's at stake in England. Going to play from left to right as we look on it. This is where the substitutions come into their own, I suppose.
It certainly is. Both teams seem to think they're receiving the kick-off. Now England, they're going to take the kick, and of course England's best technician at the kick-off and getting the ball back, Emily Scarrett off the pitch now. All down to Joe Watmore to try and get this ball back for England.
So Watmore will give chase on the far touchline. McLean needs to be accurate in France, getting ready to receive. First score will win it, any score whatsoever. Sweet Caroline rings out around the stadium here in Dubai. Women's final to come, and of course the conclusion of the men's as well. Fisher trying to dig it out, whistle's gone, penalty against France, quick tap and go. Watmore waits for nobody and has a bit of support. McLean, little step off her right foot, and the support line from Watmore. Anybody else there? Claire Allen goes in, France on the ground trying to wrestle it back, it's come loose and France have come away with it. England again at the breakdown every time. When they need composure and they need numbers committed doing the right things, so they seem to cough it up.
Yeah, they have to work on their breakdown work, England. It's so clear that they're just coughing the ball up every time at the breakdown, and it's exhausting.
French fans in the audience look on, and they're going to have a line out just over the halfway line. Allez les Bleus.
This time last year, the plate final, it was England against Fiji. It went to extra time. Both teams pretty much out on their feet, and it was the team left standing really, which was England that day, that won it. It's going to be the team with just that little bit of gas left in the tank that wins this.
Christelle Ledoux to throw, goes to the back. That wasn't straight, and the referee agrees, so we'll go back for the scrum.
Yeah, definitely not straight. England haven't run wide off a line-out move all tournament. You imagine they run Joe and Watmore back into traffic here. That's what they've done, or indeed off scrummage. It's what they've done all tournament. The only thing is, if they do that, could they win the breakdown?
That's the question, isn't it? And England with the put it on the halfway line. One break, Phil is going to win this. One mistake in defence. Watmore straight into the French tackle. There's the kick and chase now. Who's got the feet to win this one? I think France are going to get there. Grassino goes back, the try scorer picks it up off the ground, and look at that, it's over, carried over. It has to be a 5-metre scrum for England. It is, and surely this is the moment. Massive chance for them now to go win this.
Yeah, excellent kick placement. Great decision finally from England to kick. They're listening, get the ball down there. Very good chase. It was Claire Allen that got there on the end of that kick. Claire Allen has put in so much graft for England. She's never one that gets the glory, but she's the one that chased that down, made the tackle with Joanne Watmore, got England that scrummage.
Well, they're going to push for the try here. Any points will do. Got to win the scrum. There's the ball out. Taken by McLean, who went backwards though. Not the cleanest. Oh, shambles of a scrum. Shambles for England. Did go forward off a French hand, and they'll get another chance.
It's the tiredness now, isn't it? The skill level really dropping. England fortunate. France got a hand to it. First, another chance, but from further out for England. French must be exhausted from all this defending.
4 errors for England, 10 for France. And they have to try and find energy from somewhere. 90 seconds to play at the end of this first half of extra time. Any score will win it. England with possession. Slightly better scrum. McLean caught between two minds there, tries to break the tackle. Off to Watmore. Again, she tries the handoff and she's still going. Joanne Watmore, another handoff and the pop pass. Desperate defending from France. Le Duff trying to steal. Good clear out at the breakdown. Staniford just about held on to that one. Across the field she goes into a wall of trouble. Just needs some composure here. Somebody to settle things down. Watmore again. Little show. Claire Allen gives the pass away to Wilson Hardy. Back at her feet. Allen once more. France in over the top of it. Pick off the deck. McLean. No room through the middle. Pass again. 30 seconds left to play at the end of the first half. Still no score in extra time. And England with all the chances at the moment. France just, they won't give up, will they?
Immense defence from France. Absolutely immense. How England have not managed to get through with all of this possession. Quite phenomenal.
Tap and go for England. McLean. Little interchange. Any gaps in that French defence? Staniford scored the first try. Watmore turns to get her body position right. There's the hooter for half-time. Fisher wants a runner decoy. McLean, little step off her foot. McLean gives the pass to Fisher. Fisher for the corner. Fisher to win it for England. Oh yes! Finally, we get a score, and no one less deserving than Heather Fisher.
Goodness me, it was a long time coming. The French defence phenomenal. Finally, England managed to stretch them one leg, stretch them back the other. Katie McLean, the first step, hands it back to Heather Fisher, who she got the ball from in the first place. Then Fisher pins her ears back, powers over the line. She's been out of the game for a long time, come back strongly this tournament. She and her teammates will be so pleased with that brilliant finish from Heather Fisher. Exhaustion and elation in equal measures.
So Fisher's try wins it in extra time for England. It finishes England 10, France 5.